So in the last class, we have discussed about non-iterative control structures. Yeah, control structures in the C, which is non-iterative. Today we'll discuss about iterative control structures. So it will be class 10, 11, sorry. Iterative control structures. Right. So in the last class, we've discussed about the non-iterative control structures. Where can anybody define what do you mean by non-iterative control structure? Yeah, anybody from the class? What do you mean by non-iterative control structures? Today we are talking about the iterative control structures.
Non-repetitive.
Yeah, it's a non-repetitive. Whenever you need to execute set of statements only once based on the condition, then we use non-iterative control structures. So how many different types we have seen in the last class? How many types total?
5 types.
5. What are they? Tell me.
Sir, if, switch,
else if, if.
Yes. Next.
Switch.
sir, switch.
What? Yeah, go on. You should at least recollect what we discussed in the previous class so that it will be easy to discuss today's class. If else, if, right? Then nested if. Am I right or not? There are the 4 and last one is
Switch.
Switch, sir.
what is the last one? Switch and case. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I hope you have no doubts in that, and if at all any doubts, please you can ask anytime. It's not an issue. So let us start today's class, which is an iterative control structures. Similar to the non-iterative, here also we have some set of different statements. First is called for loop. The name, other name is called loops. The iterative control structure is also called loops in the C program. So generally we call for loop. The second one is called while loop. And third one is called do space while. These are the do while loop. And something called the go to statement, which can be used like a iterative or non-iterative based on your requirement. Generally go to statement. So it can be useful for both. It could be an iterative or non-iterative based on how we use it. Okay, iterative or non-iterative. Any way you can use it. This particular thing. So you cannot strictly categorize go to statement belongs to an iterative or a non-iterative. It will behave like in both ways. So first we will focus on the first 3, then we'll discuss on the go to statements. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go one by one. First I'll take the for loop. The first one will be called for loop. So definition is for loop, not loops. Okay, the definition is for the iterative I'm talking about, not only for the loop, any of the 3 cases. First 3 for loop, while loop, do while loop. Whenever there is a need of executing set of statements, repeatedly, then we go for iterative control structures. So this is a use actually. Whenever there's a need of executing set of statement repeatedly, we go for iterative control structures. So first let me take the syntax of the for loop. As I said, every control structure you should know the syntax. Coming to the syntax of the for loop is, you should write a for similar to the if there is a parenthesis. Whereas in the if control structure, we used to write only the condition, but here there will be three fields. First one is called initialization field, initialization, then semicolon, then followed by comparison or condition check, comparison, just a minute, or condition, anything is called, okay, then semicolon, then modification, then there is a block associated with this one, then we consider it is a set of statements. Statement 1, statement 2, it goes on up to statement n. Then we can consider these are body of for loop. Okay, something like that we take it. So here the question is the order of execution, how it will go. So try to remember. So whenever I do the initialization, I need to use one variable. Generally we call iteration variable. So example I'm just taking, declare, just a minute, somebody is waiting, let me see. Okay. So whenever you wanted to use for loop, make sure that there should be a declaration statement related to this particular initialization. Declare iterative variable, iterative counter, I should say, iterative counter variable. Generally we write like that, semicolon. So first thing is, first initialization will be done. How many, what will be the starting value of the iteration variable? Then the comparison is happening. Then if it is true, it will execute the body of the statements. If it is true, okay, if step 2 is true, then body of the statements are going to be executed. After 3 it will go back to the 4, then modification is happening. After the modification, again it will come back to the 2. Okay, it is something like, it's a repetitor now. So again it will be, that is how generally only 5 statements which are repetitive. So I should say that this is sequence of execution. Sequence of execution is initialization first, only once, then condition check, just a minute, okay, condition check, then execute the body of the statements, then go for modification, then again condition check, repeat, what is that, 3, 4, 5 until condition is false. The last one is repeat step 3, 4, 5 until condition gets false. Condition gets false. Okay. So once it becomes false, you can stop executing, you come out of the loop. Then come out of the loop. So this is a general procedure of syntax for the for loop, and the things to be remembered is, like similar to the if condition, there should not be any semicolon at the end of the first statement. Even though if you keep a semicolon here, as I said, irrespective of the condition, the statements always gets executed. Same thing is happening here also. When you do the semicolon here, the condition is immaterial to this particular execution. Always the statements are going to be executed. That is the reason avoid using semicolon after the for loop or for statement. I'm just writing here, that is more important to all of you. Note, never put or never keep semicolon. Never keep a semicolon at the end of a first statement. End of a first statement. If you keep, it does not give any error. it does not give any error, but the body of statements always gets executed. Body of statements always gets executed. Always gets executed irrespective of the condition. Irrespective of condition. Is it clear to all of you? Similar to the if only thing is repeat, right? This the step 6 is like, which is different from your non-iterative control structures. So whenever I wanted to repeat certain kind of statement, so that is generally okay. So let me give an example, how we use this particular for loop. So I just somebody is asking, try to write a program. Example, we need to write a program to print even numbers below 100. Even numbers below 100. How many times printf needs to be executed? Can anybody tell? Generally, if loops are not available, generally what do you do? Hash include stdio.h. How many even numbers you will get below 100? Yes, anybody can respond. Tell me.
50.
Sorry? How many even numbers you will get below 100?
49.
50, no, including 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So here, if at all there is no loops are available, what is the procedure of writing the program? Can anybody tell? What is the procedure of writing the program without loops? I am just wanted to write a program to print even numbers below 100. Don't you think I need to display something like that? Int initially a is equal to 0, semicolon, printf. There is no scanf is required because just I wanted to print all the even numbers. Scanf is not required here. %d \n a, then a is equal to a plus 2. Then printf %d \n a. How long I should write this way? How many times?
49.
Yes or no? How many times I should write? Tell me.
50 times. 40,
50
49.
times. Yes or no? So this is 1 time. This is 2 times. Sorry, there's something is wrong. Not this way. This is correct. 2 times. Then I need to use 3 times, like that. How many times total? 50 times. Yes or no?
times. Yes, sir.
And don't you think it will print all the even numbers below the 100? Agree or not?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay. But don't you think I need to write total almost 50 means 100 lines of the program?
Yes, sir. 100 lines.
So to print something, so in this what is same means at every group, right? I'm just taking a group. In each group, the second statement is similar, no? In fact, every group is same set of statements, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you without loop, if you write the way it looks like, right? Printf followed by %d \n a and a is equal to a plus 2. Same thing is repeated, no? Here onwards. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever this kind of situation is there, to reduce the length of program or number of lines in the program, we make use of the loops. So let me write the same program by using the for loop. So what I will do is without loop, that it is using the loops, using for loop now to print even numbers below 100. This is my second program. So again, I use same hash include stdio.h, then int main. Then I said initialization of the iteration variable is important, so I'll just int I. So it's a garbage. Then I use for loop. Initially, I'll take I is equal to 0. I will compare the value of I is less than 10, 100 or not, because my requirement is given in the question, which is 100 below 100. Then I just try to I is equal to I plus 2.
I plus 2.
Modification of the variable. Then simply I use printf %d \n I. Same thing here also. If only one statement is there, the opening and closing brackets are optional, but if you keep, there's nothing wrong in that. Get ch, return 0. So I think which program is looks simple, the first one or second one, in terms of the number of lines?
Second one.
Which one is better?
This one only.
Second one, sir.
Second one is better, right? So let us understand how it gets executed. So as usual, every C program start with hash include stdio.h to make use of some predefined function like printf and all. Then there's an entry point. Then I'm using a variable where I will be of 4 bytes. The name is I, and what is the contents inside it? Garbage or some value? Definition is there. Tell me. After declaration, the contents of the I is garbage or some definition is done?
Garbage, sir.
Garbage. So it is a garbage. After this, the first executable statement is for loop itself. Then inside the first statement, what is the first step it is going to execute? Initialization. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is initialization? I'm writing here. I is equal to
0.
0. Then garbage will be overwritten by 0. Agree?
Yes, sir.
After the 0, what is step 2? Between the two semicolons, there is a comparison or condition checking. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 0 less than 100, true or false?
True.
True.
Step 1 is I is equal to 0. Step 2 is 0 less than 100, true or false? True.
True.
If it is true, step 3 is what? Execute printf. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is printf statement here? %d \n I. %d, what is the value of %d is going to be printed? I value. What is I value?
0, sir.
So I'm just writing here output. 0 will be printed, cursor will come to the next line. Yes or no? After
sir.
the body of the statement is executed, what is the step 4?
Modify.
Modify I.
Modification.
Modify I such a way that I will be incremented by 2. Yes or no? I is equal to I plus 2. I becomes how much? 0 plus 2. 0 will be overwritten by
2.
2.
2. Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, after step 4, next step is what? Go for comparison again. What is the comparison? 2 less than 100. True or
100.
false?
True.
2 less than 100. True or false?
True,
Tell
sir.
me.
True, sir.
True. Then it will come back into the statement. Printf is gets executed. %d \i. What is the value of I?
2, sir.
2 will be printed. Again, what is the next step? Repeat 3, 4, 5. No. So 3 already done. I'll go to the 4 again. So I will get modified. I becomes how much? 2 plus 2.
4.
4. Again 4 less than 100.
True.
True. When it is true, printf gets executed. So %di, I value is how much?
4.
4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So like that, how long it will repeat this one? How many times?
I is less than 100.
Yeah, number of times the printf is executed is 50 times. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number of times printf gets executed. Printf gets executed is 50 times. Simple?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now I just want all of you write an assignment. Write a program to print a mathematical table of the input entered by the user. I'm asking all of you to write down a question. Write a mathematical table So write a program to print a mathematical table of the number which is given by the user. If I am entering 5, I need to print 5 table from multiples of 1 to multiples of 10. Okay. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
You try to do it. It is very simple. It is not a big deal. But the only thing is you need to understand. Don't copy from the book or internet. First you try on your own. And then you try to take help of any other resources. So nothing wrong in that. Because you need to practice on your own. Logical thinking has to be developed. If you keep on looking at somebody's logic and you try to implement same thing, it will not improve your logical skills. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me have example. Second example, I'm trying to give it to you. Write a program to print factorial of a given number. Same thing. I gave an example for you is to print a mathematical table, and I'm asking here the question is factorial of a given number. If I'm giving a 3, it should print a 6. If I'm giving a 4, it should give 24. If I'm giving a 5, it should give 120. It's simply a factorial. Okay? Yes or no? So before you start writing the program, you should logically think. If my input is 0, what is my output? Factorial of 0 is how much?
1.
1.
1. Factorial of 1 is
1.
1 only. Factorial of 2 is
2.
it is 2 into 1. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If it is 3,
3 into 2 into 1.
6.
if it is 4,
24.
4 into 3 into
24.
4, 3, 24, correct. Then 5 factorial,
120. 120.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is 120. 6 factorial,
720.
why I'm writing, I'll tell you it just a minute, how much it will do.
720.
Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct only, 120 into 6. I think it should be 5, 6 into 5. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And 7 factorial. Tell me, you have a mobile for the calculator with you.
5040. 5040.
5040. And 8 factorial. How much?
40320.
40320.
How much?
40320.
40320. Now, as I'm keep on increasing, my value is increasing. One thing is sure. Now, the thing is to hold the result of the factorial, what type of variable is we need to consider? What type of variable we must take to hold the result? Can I use an integer? Can I use int something like this? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Can I take it or not?
Yes, sir.
What is the size of the A? 4 bytes, no?
4 bytes.
Yeah, 4 bytes. So it is nothing but 32 bits. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Suppose 1 bit I dedicate for sign bit. 1 bit is sign bit because I'm not using an unsigned here. 1 bit is sign. How many bits left? 31 bits. Correct or not? So what is the maximum value I can represent a positive value by using 31 bits? Is it not 2 power 31?
Yes, sir.
Is it not 2
Yes,
power
sir.
31? So how much will be the value? Is it not 2 into 10 power 9? Because 2 power 10 is equal to how much? Almost 1024. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
2 power 10, 2 power 10. Can I write 2 power 31 as, just a minute. I can write 2 power 31 is equal to 2 power 10 into 2 power 10 into 2 power 10 into 2. Can I write this way? Can I write or not?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, mathematics, you are supposed to tell. Is it okay? 2 power 31 can be written as 2 power 10 cross 2 power 10 cross 2 power 10 cross 2 power 1. Accepted or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2 power 10 equal to 1024. Am I right? For the computer, 104 means 1k, which can be written as 10 power 3. For us, it might be 1000. For the computer, it is 1024. 1k means, okay? So it will be 10 power 3 again, it will be 10 power 3. Then it will be 2. So can I write 2 into 10 power 9? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So finally, if your input, you are giving input such a way that your output should not exceed. Output should not exceed how much?
2 into 10 to the
2
power
into
of 9.
10 power 9. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So generally in Turbo C compiler, because int means 2 bytes, so 2 bytes means almost 16 bits, out of which 1 bit is signed, then 15 bits will be there. By using 15 bits, what is the maximum number? 32,768. Yes or no? 32,767 actually, the maximum value that can be stored in the Turbo C. But luckily in Dev C++ and other GNU compilers or GCC compilers, the int is nothing but 4 bytes, so it is not an issue. So whoever is using a Turbo C or any compiler which take integer is 2 byte, better you declare long. Long is equal to how many bytes? How many bytes long means?
8.
4. In the Dev C++, have you checked long take how many bytes? In Turbo C, it is 4 bytes because integer takes 2 bytes, long takes 4 bytes. Whereas in the Dev C++, where integer or long both are same. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So always it is preferable to use, I think just now I have written what type of variable. Always preferable is to use what? Long or int. So this is always a better choice for holding the output. So anyhow, let us go back to our analysis. Now the thing is, I'm trying to write a program. I will rewrite my logic how a factorial is going to be evaluated. Then again, I'll rewrite here. If I'm giving input as a 5 factorial, it must be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Something like this I should get execute. So what I will do is, I'll start with my program hash include stdio.h, then int main. Then I'm using some 2 variables. One is for iteration purpose, one is for the input what user is going to give, and one is output, which is long. Long is maybe result. Is it okay? Or I can take the factorial fact underscore result. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Number of variables required. Then as I said, I'll start using for loop because initialization variable I is equal to 0. Then my multiplication always start from what user is typing. So before the for loop, I should take the value of n. That is important. So I'm asking the user printf enter the value to calculate factorial, right? Enter the value or input for factorial calculation. Yes or no? Enter the value or input for the factorial. Is it okay? Then what next statement? You tell me. First,
Sir, I will
Scanf.
scanf. Next,
percentage d
percentage d,
ampersand
Tell me, ampersand? I or N? Or fact result? Out of these three, which one I should use? N, because N stands for the input, right?
Yes.
Then I'm using my for loop. So initialization I is equal to 0, or else you can do other way, because generally here whatever input is given, from that input I need to going back. Yes or no? First 5, then it is 4, then it is 2, then it is 2. Yes or not? So initialization need not to be 0 all the time. You can also initialize with N. There's nothing wrong. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Then I should compare. My I value should be greater than 0. If I equal to 5, 5 greater than 0, true or false?
True, sir.
You tell me. Should I use greater than or greater than or equal to? Which one is okay?
Greater than, sir.
Greater than only. Yes or no? Correct or not? Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Then I must be decreased or increased?
Decreased, sir.
When I'm initializing with some value with a non-zero and I'm comparing it with a greater than 0, always your interest is to decrease, right? You have to decrease such a way that it should get false at some time. Am I right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
tell me, decreasing by one time or more than one time?
One time.
One time, sir.
Because after 5 I want a 4, no? So that is the reason one time. So can I write I minus minus?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then I'm using fact underscore result is a variable is equal to, can I write fact underscore result star of I? Can I write this way?
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, what is the problem? Fact underscore result is what? Garbage or some definition is there? Here.
Garbage, sir.
Garbage.
So better you should not have a garbage here. Whenever there is a multiplication is happening, better you initialize with how much?
1.
How much? Can I write 1?
1.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So 1 into 5. Yes or no? Okay, first let me complete the program, then I'll explain each and step-by-step process. Then finally printf after the for loop, the factorial n colon is percentile d. Tell me what variable I should write here. I think there's something wrong here. It should be percentile d again. Percentile d exclamation mark is percentile d. What variable I should use here?
N factor result.
First percentile d belongs to which variable?
N.
N. Because I'm trying to keep now 5. I'm trying to give 5 factorial. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Second one is fact underscore result. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Then get ch, then return 0, then close. Now let us start understanding the program. As per my rule, if I'm giving 5 as an input, it should execute like 5 cross 4 cross 3 cross 2 cross 1, which must be 120. So here first the declaration statements are, there are 2 different types. I'm going to declare a variable I with a 4 bytes. Then n also 4 bytes. This is I, this is n. Garbage or some definition is happening? Garbage, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Again, this is also 4 bytes. Because of dev C++, you don't find any different, but always have a practice. Irrespective of the compiler, you wanted to write a programming for factorial, always result must be long. So this is fact underscore result. But here I'm doing the definition as 1. Is it clear? After
Yes,
2
sir.
declaration statements, I'm going to allocate 12 bytes of memory, where 4 bytes of each variable, out of which I and n will be the garbage and factorial result will be defined with a 1. Till here it is okay? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Right. So then I'm trying to execute printf, enter the value of the input for the factorial. Maybe I'm typing 5. After 5, just I'm typing enter. So that n will be overwritten by how much?
5, sir.
5.
5. So the garbage of n will be overwritten by 5 here. Then for loop starts. For loop first is what? Initializing statement. What it is telling, I is equal to n. So what is the value of n?
5, sir.
So then I value, which is the garbage, will be overwritten by 5. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then it will compare the 5 greater than 0, true or false?
True, sir.
True. When it is true, it will execute the statement inside the for loop. What is the statement inside the for loop? Fact underscore result is equal to fact result into I. So what is fact result? 1 star. What is I value? 5. 1 into 5 is how much?
5.
5.
5.
Then your factorial 1 will be overwritten by 5. Correct or not?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? Then after that, what is going to be executed? You tell me. After the body of statement is executed, which step is going to be performed?
Modifier.
Modify. So what is the modification here?
I minus
I
minus.
minus
I minus minus. So I is how much?
5, sir.
minus 1.
5 will be overwritten by
4, sir.
4. Then what next? 4 greater than
4. 0.
0. True or false?
True, sir.
True. Okay, this is I. When 4 greater than true, what is going to be executed? Factorial underscore result is equal to fact underscore result into I. What is fact underscore result?
5, sir.
5.
5.
5.
So it will be 5 into
4.
4.
I. What is I?
4.
4.
4.
5 into 4?
20.
20.
20. Then your factorial 5 will be overwritten by?
20, sir.
Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Then what next? What next?
Modifier again, sir.
I minus minus. I becomes
3.
3, sir.
3. 3 greater than 0.
0.
True or false?
True.
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 True, sir.
Then it will execute factorial underscore result is equal to
20 into
factorial result under into I. What is factorial result? 20
20.
into I. What is I?
Into 3.
3. Which
60.
becomes
60.
60.
60. Then factorial result is 20 is overwritten by
60.
60.
60.
60
Then
into
next. What next?
2. I minus minus. 3
I
minus
minus
2.
minus. 3 will be overwritten by
2.
2. Then 2 greater than 0. True or false?
True.
True.
True. Again, it will
60
execute
into 2.
factorial underscore result is equal to factorial into I. So 60 into
2.
what is I?
2.
2. Yes or no?
20.
60 into 2 is how much? 60 into 2 is how much?
120.
120. Then your 60 will be overwritten by 120. Next, I minus minus. I becomes
1.
1.
1. 1 greater than 0. True or false?
True.
1
True.
greater than 0. True or false?
True.
True. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Again, execute factorial underscore result is equal to factorial result into what is factorial? 120
120 into
into I is equal to 1.
1.
Result is
120.
120. So 120 overwritten by 120 only. There is no change. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Then I minus minus. I becomes
0.
0. 0 greater than 0. True or false?
False.
False. False. Come out of the for loop. It will execute printf. The factorial of percentile d exclamation mark or a factorial symbol is percentile d. First percentile d will be replaced of n. What is the value of n? 5
5.
percentile is. Then factorial result. What is factorial result?
120, sir.
120.
This is your output. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you write reverse way? I is equal to 0, I less than n and I plus plus? You try to do that way. Is it clear? The second example, I'm just, it's a kind of no assignment to you. Means I don't ask assignment separately. In between, I'll give some questions to you. First one is mathematical table you need to print of the given input by the user. Second is same factorial. Instead of initializing with I is equal to n, you initialize I is equal to 1 or 0. It's up to you. You try to get the factorial result. Can you do it? That also you write it down. Okay, later I will ask. So this is about for loop. Then I'll go for while loop. Second iterative structure. While loop. So coming to the while loop, syntax is same. First, declare and define. Declare and define iteration variable. This is the first one. Earlier only declaration, definition is optional, but in the while loop, you must declare and define iteration variable first. Then while will start. Then condition. Then statements. After statements is over, there must be a statement called modification of iteration variable. Modification of iteration variable. Last statement of any while loop. Then it will be this one. So here is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Again we'll come back to the 5. Same thing. Step 6 is repeat 5, 3, 4 until condition gets false. Same thing. Is it clear? While, again, there is no semicolon at the end of the while. That is more important. You must remember. But only thing is, first you have to declare and define the iteration variable. Then there is a condition checking, then statements, then followed by modification of the iteration variable inside the while loop at the last statement. That is more important. If you forget this, the condition will never get false and the statements will get infinitely. The program will never come out of the C program. Okay, that is a problem you face generally. So you make sure that the step 4 is compulsory in the while execution. Any doubts in this? If any doubts, please ask. Compared to for loop, it is almost similar to for loop. Only thing is they are divided. Initialization is done before the while. Modification is pushed into the block of the while. Condition is put as it is in the same place. And name instead of for it is given as a while. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Shall I go for an example? So I'll go for an example. Write a program to print sum of digits of a given input. What does it mean is, suppose user is typing 45, it should give 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. If user is typing maybe 127, it should be 1 plus 2 plus 7. It becomes 7 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 10. If user is typing maybe 9, 4, 7, 2, something like this randomly, then it should print 9 plus 4 plus 7 plus 2 is equal to how much? 13 plus 7, 20, 22. Is it okay? These are the inputs. These are the outputs. You must understand the question first properly, then only you can start writing the program. Agreed or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let me write a program here. Can anybody tell what is the logic, how to get this kind of output? What must be the logic I should apply? If user is giving 45, how can I extract 5 and 4 separately? Which operator will help me to extract the digit 5?
Division by 10.
Division by 10, right or not? 45 modulus 10. What is the result? Tell me.
5.
5. Correct or not? Similarly, I wanted to get 4 also. How can I get it? How can I get it?
Again divide with 10.
Quotient is 4, no? Yes or no? If user is typing only 2 digits, it's very easy for you. First you execute 45 by 10, you will get some result, maybe some A. This is B. So simply you do it, A plus B is a result. Yes or no? Correct or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
But we do not know what user is going to type. He might type 2 digits, he might type 3 digits, or he might type type any number of digits. Do you think writing only 2 statement is sufficient, or it has to be repeated?
Repeated, sir.
Repeated based on the given input. Yes or no? Correct or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, let me write a program here. Hash include stdio.h, then int main, then again I use int n. The iteration variable input sometimes can be used same variable. Let us see here. Then I need to use int. Okay, I need not to use here. It is a result. Then result or sum of digits. I'll write the more significant SOD. Sum of digits. Then fine. Let me write initially. So what is the first statement? Printf. Enter any number of more than 2 digits. Enter any integer. Enter any integer of more than 2 digits. Correct or not? Then scanf. Percentile D. No, this is not required here. Ampersand of SOD or N? Tell me.
N.
N, because we are asking for the some input, so N will be taken. Then I'm using N itself is acting as an iteration variable, so initialization is done in the scanf itself. So you can directly use while. Can I write N greater than 0? True or false?
Yes, sir. True, sir.
Because you are entering 2-digit number. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So when it is true, it will go inside. I will need reminder also, right? So let me have one more variable, reminder, rem. So what I will do, I'll just try to extract reminder is equal to n percentile 10. Can I write this way?
Yes, sir.
Right or not? Then SOD, sum of digits, is equal to sum of digits plus reminder. So what is SOD? Garbage or some definition is there?
Garbage.
Garbage.
Here it is garbage or definition? Tell me.
Garbage.
Respond, I'm asking you only. SOD is a variable.
Garbage,
Is it
sir.
having a garbage or definition?
Garbage.
At the time of declaration, it has any value or garbage it is having? Respond.
Garbage, sir.
Garbage.
Garbage. So garbage plus anything is garbage only, no? So I want same number. So SOD must be initialized 0 or 1. It must be 0, okay?
0.
So thumb rule you try to remember. What thumb rule says, when there is a repetitive multiplication, when there is a repetitive multiplication, the output variable must be defined with what?
1.
1. Whereas for repetitive additions, output variable must be defined with how much?
0, sir.
So this is a thumb rule. You must make a note of it. Okay. Most important. Whenever your algorithm is needing a repetitive multiplication, output variable must be started with the initialization of 1. When there is a repetitive addition, so always starts with your output variable must be initialized with a 0. Okay. Never forget this point. So because I need a repetitive addition, so that is the reason SOD must be 0. So 0 plus reminder. So I think rightmost digit is getting added. Yes or no? Correct or not? Okay, first let me complete it. Then n is equal to n divided by 10. I think modification of the variable I said. If n is equal to 45, 45 by 10, how much n value? N is having 45. When you say 45 by 10,
Four.
quotient is how much?
4.
4. Yes or no?
4, sir.
So n is going to be updated by 4 instead of a 45. Then am I not modifying the iteration variable here?
Yes.
Okay, n is acting as initialization variable as well as modification of the variable. Simply you come out printf sum of digits of a given number, sum of digits of percentile d is percentile d backslash n. So n comma SOD. Is it clear? So maybe get ch, return 0, then end. Now let us understand the program. Initially, n will be declared, which is the 4 bytes with the garbage. Then SOD will be declared of a 4 bytes with initialization is 0. Again, reminder will be initialized with again 4 bytes with the garbage. Correct or not? Is it okay? Respond. Fine. So let me take first enter any integer of more than 2 digits and scanf percentile d ampersand n. Suppose I am entering 45. Then out of these 3 variables, which variables gets updated? N, SOD or reminder?
N.
N.
Sorry?
N.
N,
The
sir.
moment I type some number, maybe 45 I am typing. Out of these 3 locations, which one gets updated?
N. N.
Tell
N.
me.
N, sir.
N, sir.
N,
I'm
sir.
not getting a little loud.
N,
N.
sir.
N, okay, fine. So this garbage is overwritten by 45, assuming that n will be 45. Then I'm entering into the while loop. While condition, what is the condition? 45 greater than 0, true or false?
True.
True. True means I will enter inside the block. So because there are 3 statements, opening and closing brackets are compulsory. Whereas in the previous example for loop, I got only 1 statement. Here I have 3 statements, so opening and closing brackets are compulsory. So 45 greater than 0 is a true. I will enter here. Then reminder is equal to n percentile 10. So 45 percentile 10. 45 percentile 10. What is the result?
5.
How much?
5.
5. So reminder is going to be updated here. This garbage is updated by 5. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then sum of the digits is equal to sum of the digits plus reminder. So sum of the digits is 0, reminder is 5. Result is how much? 5. Yes or no?
5.
The 5 means this SOD will be updating your 0 with a 5. Correct?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Then it will execute n is equal to n by 10. So n is having 45. 45 by 10. What is the value? 4.
4.
Your n will be updating your 45 with 4.
4.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then it will go back to check the condition. 4 greater than 0. True or false?
True.
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 Again, I am checking here. 4 greater than 0 is true. Again, enter inside. Reminder is equal to which is n percentile 10. What is n value? 4 percentile 10. What is the result?
4.
4.
4.
Then again SOD. What is SOD by the time? SOD is equal to 5. 5 plus 4 is equal to how much?
9.
9. So your 5 will be updated by 9. Then again n is equal to n by 10. So it will be 4 by 10. What is the result?
0.
4 by 10. What is the quotient?
0.
0. Again goes back. 0 greater than 0. True or false?
False.
False. It will come out of the while loop. Simply print sum of the digits. Percentile d is percentile d. First percentile d will be n value, which is how much n value? I think it is getting modified now. So to print here, you do one thing. You have some extra variable, maybe n1. So you can simply n1 is equal to n here. Then simply you write n1. I think this is okay. So n1 will not get modified. Only n gets modified. So this is n1, which will be 45. Remains 45 all the time. So 45 is how much? Is it not 9?
9. 9, sir.
Okay. Now suppose user is typing 125. Will it work or not? You tell me. If user is typing 125, will it work or not? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Because for the 45, my set of statements are executed 2 times. For 125, set of statements will execute how many times?
3 times.
3 times. 4-digit number?
3 times.
Yeah, 4-digit number?
4 times.
4 times.
N-digit number?
N times.
N times. Simple, no?
N times.
Is it not? So that is what the sum of the digits of a given number using a while loop. And I forgot to mention in the previous program. I'll just go back to the for loop here. Suppose user types 0. What will be the output here? If user gives input is 0, what is going to happen?
Only one
Tell
time.
me. Because once you write the program, you must check for all possible inputs. So as you mentioned, 0 factorial is how much?
1.
1. So do you think this program will print 1 for the 0 if you give the input?
No, sir.
No,
It
sir.
won't print, right or not?
Yes.
Then what do we do now?
Initially, we should print it, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, I greater than and equal to 0 week.
Sorry, I'm not getting. Don't you think I should put this entire if condition if n is greater than or equal to 1,
1.
opening bracket, closing bracket. Can I keep like this? My logic will work only when n is greater than or equal to 1, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I think if input 1 is given, will it print 1 factorial?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sir.
1 I is
Yes.
equal to 1. 1 greater than 0 is true. Then 1 into I is 1 into 1, which is factorial equal to 1 only. Then I minus I becomes 0. So 0 greater than 0. So it will not print. Yes or no? Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me for n equal to 0, what should I do now? Where should I write the logic for the n equal to 0 condition?
Sir,
Simply
we
can I
write
keep
I
else
greater
part,
than and equal to 0.
else part the value of percentile d is 1? Because any
Else
value
print
greater
0.
than 0 is going to be if condition. If n equal to 0, else condition gets executed, no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So simply I can write here one more in before the printf and this closing bracket. Here, else part. What should I write? Printf percentile d or n factorial is percentile d factorial is let me write. You try to correct this. percentile d factorial is percentile d backslash n comma, simply you can write directly one constant, you can write, there is nothing wrong, or percentile d is 1, here itself 1 you can write, anything is okay. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? You just let me know. For n equal to 0 condition, separate it. It should not be part of the for loop. Is it clear? Nobody is responding. How should I know that whether you are following or not? Tell me. Anyhow, I just leave it to you. Actually, you try to modify this program such a way that if n equal to 0, I am supposed to see that factorial of 0 is 1, and anyhow remaining any greater than 0, the logic anyhow it is going to work, so that you take care. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
And one more thing, we should consider the while loop generally considered as pre-test condition. Before the body of statement executed, it's called pre-test. Before body of statement gets executed, it will be checking the condition. It's called pre-test loop. Okay, the other name. In fact, for loop is also pre-test loop only, but coming to the third one, which is called do while. I think I'll take not more than 10 minutes because already time is over, but I wanted to complete the topic. Third one is called do while. Do while statement or do while loop, anything is okay. The syntax is first, again you need declaration and definition. Declaration and definition of iteration variable, it will not change, similar to while loop. Then I use first to do, it has a block. Then after the block there is a while loop, there is a condition, but here there is a semicolon. Only statement of iterative or a non-iterative in which after the while you should keep a semicolon is only do while. So after the while condition you must keep a semicolon, whereas in other cases it is not required or you are not supposed to do it, but here it is something like this. Now we have statement 1, statement 2, like that, finally statements n, then finally modification of the variable, modification of iteration variable. It's compulsory. If you don't do this, the condition will never get false, and it is an infinity. So do while. So let us understand what is the difference between this one and that one. Okay. So here the condition is the difference between while and here is, irrespective of the condition, the set of statements will get executed at least once. Statements gets executed at least once, irrespective of the condition. Irrespective of condition. So name itself indicating, do means you need to perform. After performing the set of statements at least once, then you are checking the condition. If condition is true, you go back and execute again. If condition is false, you come out. So in that case, at least once the statements are getting executed. Agree or not? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes,
So
sir.
it is called post-test loop. Post-test loop. I'll give you an example. When you go for a movie, right, to watch in a theater, is it a pre-test condition or post-test condition? Can you enter without a ticket inside the hall? Tell me.
No, sir.
Watching a movie is a pre-test condition or post-test condition in a theater? Respond. Until the ticket is checked by the that door, whoever that person will be there in front of the door, he will not allow you to enter inside the hall. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Respond.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is called pre-test condition.
Yes.
Then you execute, means you can watch a movie. It's called execution. Now, when you go for a restaurant, you have your whatever dinner or lunch. Waiter will ask bill before you start taking the food or after the food.
After the food.
That is called post-test. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct or not? So
Yes,
that's
sir.
called something like that. In the programming also, the while and do while, the difference is while belongs to a pre-test condition. It means unless condition is true, you are not supposed to execute the set of statements. Whereas do while, at least once you should execute, then you come out. That's the meaning of it. Okay. Now there are some applications where you wanted to execute at least once, and then based on the condition, remaining time you will perform. That's the meaning of it. Something like whether classes in the college will be cancelled or not, you do not know. At least you need to come to a college once. Yes or no? If there is no SMS facility, there is no website, you do not know whether classes are happening or not. So what do? You at least reach to a college. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Once you reach to a college, if classes are conducted, you are going to sit in the class itself. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
by
sir.
any means, because of some strike or so, if they say that classes are cancelled, then you come out of the college. Something like that. So in even most of these programming applications, at least set of statement needs to be executed once. In that case, do while loop is preferable. Then you might get a question, right? Which condition we should use a for loop and which condition we should go for a while loop. So generally, any for loop program can be replaced by the while loop, and any while loop program can be replaced by the for loop. But preferable, right? In terms of the preference, when to use which type of loop is, I'm trying to give you here. Remember, whenever you know the number of iteration, the number of iterations required, go for loop. Go for the for loop. When I'm asking mathematical table, you know that how long I should print the multiples of 10? Multiples of that given input. Just
10
now I
times.
gave one program now to all of you. Mathematical
10
table I
times.
wanted you to print. From where to where you print? Multiples of 1 to multiples of
10.
10.
10.
So don't you think it is known to you how many times my program is going to be repeated?
Yes. 10 times.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Yeah, if I am asking the same sum of the digits, can you tell me how many times I need to repeat the loop?
It depends on input, sir.
Depends on the given input. Yes or no? When you are not sure about how many times, whenever number of iteration depends on the input, number of iterations depends on user input, then go for while loop. This is a preference, but anything can be done with any other loop. Okay. And finally, at least once you want to execute set of statements, in the loop, then which one?
Do while.
Do while loop. So this is a note. When to use which loop? This is more important. Okay, I'm giving a last example for the do while, and go to statement is there that I will discuss in the next class. So just let me take one example here, then we'll wind up. You know Fibonacci series? Write a program to print Fibonacci series. What is Fibonacci series? Tell me. Yes. What is Fibonacci series?
So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3,
Then
5, 5, 8.
okay, fine. It goes on, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So it goes on. Now I wanted to execute this program. How many variables generally you expect to use to write a program? Hash include stdio.h. Yeah, so tell me.
3 variables.
3 variables. Very good. A, B, and C. Correct or not? So I'll just take int A, B, C. Later we'll see which variable needs a definition and all. Then I use, because scanf is not required. Scanf might be required because you need at least 10 times. So n also will take. Or until less than some number, okay? Below some number, anything is okay. So I'll take some n also here. Or first 10 Fibonacci series, I should do that way. Write a program to print first 10 Fibonacci series. First 10 Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci series, so I should, okay, it is not required in that case. If you are certain, then n is not required. Then what do we do is, I can go for do first. Can I write a is equal to 0? Okay,
Yes, sir.
I just need to do a is equal to 0, b is equal to 1. Can I write this way?
Yes, sir.
Can I write this way or not?
Yes, sir.
So before I start my loop, first one you just try to print percentile d backslash n a. This is okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
I think second also you need actually. Printf percentile d backslash n b. Then here 0 and 1 will be printed. Now from here onwards you need a loop, correct or not? First two will be separate. You print outside the loop. Outside the loop. Whereas remaining 1, 2, 3 onwards inside the loop. So I'll just do. You know a is equal to 0. C is equal to a plus b. Can I write this way? Can I write this way or not?
Yes, sir.
Printf percentile d backslash n c. Once c is printed, I don't want anything, right? Can I write a is equal to b, b is equal to c? Yes sir, every time my second input and result should be the next additions. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Yes, sir.
File. What should I do? I think for n equal to 10, no, I want actually. Let me have one more variable because 10 times you are telling, no? Maybe some more I is also required. I take I is equal to 10, okay? So here I'll simply do I minus minus and I is greater than 0. Can I write this way? Because I'm certain about how many times I need to execute. I think here I should be greater than 2, I think, because already 2 numbers are printed outside this. Yes or no? Already 2 numbers are printed. So this loop should execute only remaining 8 times. So my value is, initially it is 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Up to 3 only it has to print. Yes or no? So I'm writing I greater than 2. It is okay or not?
Daddy,
Tell me.
Daddy.
Anyhow, let me complete the program, then I'll execute. Return 0. Okay, fine. So let me go back to my program here. Let us understand how it is going to be executed. So here, I think first to till entry point I need not to explain. So I'm just trying to create total 4 variables. Name is A, B, C, then I. I is for iteration. So garbage, 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 10. And here it's optional because I have used A equal to 0, B equal to separately. You can directly write here also, there's nothing wrong. A equal to 0, B equal to 1 also you can write. But to have a clarity, I just made separately. So after that, I'm executing A equal to 0. So garbage will be overwritten by 0. Then B is equal to 1. B will be overwritten by 1. Then printf %d backslash n A. Then printf %d backslash n B. So 0 and 1 will be printed in the consecutive lines. Then C is equal to A plus B. So A plus B means 0 plus 1. It will be 1 again. Then I am printing %d C. What is the value of C? 1 again. So it will be printing 1 in the next line again. Then A is equal to B. So 0 will be overwritten by value of the B, which is B equal to 1 will come here. Then B is equal to C. The 1 will be overwritten by again 1 of this one actually. Then I minus minus it becomes 9. Is it clear? Then what I'm doing is I'm comparing I is greater than 2. True or false? 9 greater than true is true or false? Tell me.
True, sir. True, sir.
True. True means it will go back to the C is equal to A plus B. So what is A and B? 1 plus 1. The 1 will be overwritten by 2. Then printf %d backslash n C. C will be printing it is 2 here. Then A is equal to B. Then it will be overwritten by this one. B is equal to C. It will be overwritten by 2. Then I minus minus it becomes 8. Then 8 greater than 2 is for true or false?
True, sir.
It will go back to the C. C is equal to A plus B. So 1 plus 2 it is 3. 2 will be overwritten by 3. Printf %LD backslash n C. It will be 3 here. Then A is equal to B. It will be overwritten by 2. B is equal to C. It will be overwritten by 3. Then I minus minus it will become 7. 7 greater than 2. True or false? True again. Yes or no? It will go back.
Yes, sir.
C is equal to A plus B, which is 5. 3 will be overwritten by the 5. Printf C, which is 5. Then same it will be repetitive until your I becomes how much?
3, sir.
I becomes 2. Yeah, when it is 3 it will enter. If it is 2 it won't enter. Yes or no? So finally you are going to get the series like 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 total 10, no? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 13 plus 8 21. Then 21 plus 13 34. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Last one 55. Yes or no? So try to remember here 0 1 is okay. This is for I is equal to 9 or 10 I should say. This is for I is equal to 9. This is for I is equal to 8. This is for I is equal to 7. This is for I is equal to 6. This is for I is equal to 5. This is for I is equal to 4. This is for I is equal to 3. This is for I is equal to 2. Is it okay? Sorry, 3, not 2. Up to 3 it will enter, then becomes I is equal to 2, it won't do anything. It will not enter back. Yes or no? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So I just want
Yes, sir.
all the students at least 5 programs. For some programs already I told. For all the loops, whether it's a for loop or a while loop or a do while loop, at least 5 programs, different programs. Try to write in your notes with all this explanation and all logic and all. I can verify anytime. Randomly, I'll ask you to show your notes by switching on your videos. So make sure that you can complete it. Is it clear? So with this, I'll stop today's class. Just hold on. Let me first stop this sharing the screen. I'll take the attendance. Do not go.